Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Wabram. You're back with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wahab Kakwadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord you see on the highways and byways, prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, also prophesying in the correct doctrine. I want to send a shalom to the one-third men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua by their faith in the Lord. I want to bring another lesson out through the Spirit of the Lord. Just going into World War III, man, the time of the Battle of Armageddon, the destruction of Babylon the Great, man, and the Lord's return, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua return. And I got a couple of videos, man. I got a lot of videos, man, and you know the scriptures, man. They can just roll off the brain when it comes to the destruction. So let's get started.
In a worrying sign of the times, European nations are sending pamphlets to their citizens on how to prepare for and survive a crisis or conflict. Sweden has issued its 10 million citizens with a new survival guide that opens with this warning. We live in uncertain times. Armed conflicts are currently being waged in our corner of the world. The focus is on how to survive during wartime, but the brochure also identifies extreme weather events, disease and technology outages, as well as psychological warfare as serious threats. It offers advice on how to survive prolonged blackouts and water shortages, how much food to stockpile, and where to seek shelter during an air raid. Finland, Norway and Denmark have also updated their emergency guidelines, indicating a growing concern among countries in close proximity to the war in Ukraine. This comes as the Kremlin responds to America's decision to allow Ukraine to use long-range missiles into Russian territory, calling it reckless. It's now updated its nuclear doctrine to say an attack with conventional missiles could warrant a nuclear response.
And I would say fair use, fair use. These videos will be used for educational purposes only. No video will be shown that will be benefiting financially from the video. Now you see these nations are preparing for war, and these Babylonians, they're just having a good time, man. They're waiting for the game to come on. Who got the next fight, the party, the club, partying and bullshit, man. But the other nations are preparing their people for the destruction that's coming in their lands and showing them how to survive it. But the spirit of this place, man, is going to be destroyed utterly, man. It won't be no survivors here in Babylon the Great, man. And it's showing you that there's no turning around or turning back the destruction the Lord has set in place for Babylon the Great, man. And they're pushing the Russians to the breaking point for them to shoot those missiles over. And we know that the MOTB has to be very, very close because a financial crash has to happen before the thermonuclear missiles are shot from one end of the earth, man, to the other end. Now it's just the tipping point, man, the linchpin to show you that it's not turning around, man. This is going to happen if you believe it or not. If you think it is or not, however you think in your small mind, and you think this is not going to happen, you're going to be destroyed, man.
Breaking news to bring you now. Sky News can now confirm that sources have told us that Ukraine has fired UK-supplied Storm Shadow missiles into Russia. The missiles first given to Ukraine in May of 2023, and there had been long-running debate and calls from the Ukrainians to be allowed to fire those missiles on targets in Russia. Well, after President Joe Biden gave the Ukrainians the license to use US-supplied ATACMS missiles to fire onto Russian targets inside Russia, it now appears, according to the sources that have spoken here to us at Sky News, that this UK-supplied Storm Shadow cruise missile has now been fired by the Ukrainians into Russia for the first time.
So you have it, man. It's not going back, man. It's not going back to any time ever you've known it to be, man. And you see this right here. This is WEF Insider Elite planning World War III within weeks to rebuild world from nuclear ashes. So they want a thermonuclear destruction, especially in Babylon, man. And the small hatters going to get it too. This is what the prophecy said. The small hatters and Babylon the Great is going to get it. And other places are going to be destroyed as well. It's going to be hit, but nothing is going to be like when it hits Babylon the Great, man. America, man. And this is what they want, man. And this is the article on the People's Choice. And I got so many videos. I didn't even want to I didn't want to read the headlines, man, because we already know what it's saying, man. It's pretty much what all these videos are saying. But this is their plan. This is their playbook, man. They want this to happen. Let's go into a video.
The stakes have never been higher. The global elite, who know their days are numbered following Trump's election win, are pushing us towards World War III. All to protect their money laundering operation in Ukraine and advance their dystopian agendas. Now, with Biden's approval for Ukraine to use US long-range weapons inside Russia, the globalists have crossed a red line. An unconstitutional act of war that risks igniting the nuclear catastrophe we've long feared. You want the reality of it? In just 72 minutes of nuclear exchange, 60% of the world's population, 5 billion people, will either be vaporized instantly or suffer an excruciating death from radiation. The survivors wouldn't fare much better, living in a modern hellscape, as nuclear winter plunges us into chaos. Society as we know it would collapse. And for what? To protect corrupt interests, spark a global power grab, and depopulate the globe. The psychopathic elite must be stopped before they can fulfill their vision of global control at any cost. Before we dive in, join the People's Voice Locals community.
Well, that's the point, man. These elite are on board for the destruction. And you 2/3, man, is walking around your days, not knowing this place is on the cusp of being destroyed from off the face of the earth. And you're not even seeking the truth to even know what's going to happen, man.
Ukraine fired 6 U.S.-made missiles here at Russia's Bryansk region. Russia's defense ministry just releasing that information days after U.S. President Biden eased those restrictions on Ukrainian use of American-made weapons in the war that is now marking its 1,000th day. Ukraine claimed it hit a military weapons depot there in the middle of the night, though it didn't specify what weapons it actually used. The Ukrainian General Staff said that multiple explosions and detonations were heard in that targeted area.
So you have it, man. It's confirmed. They have used military weapons of America and Great Britain against them, man. Let's get this video. I got a lot of videos. Like I said, I got a lot of videos, man. Let me go hit some scriptures.
Well, I never thought I would live to see. Here's the video.
Slocky. Let me put it back. Here we go.
Afternoon, folks. Well, I never thought I would live to see the day when British missiles were fired into Russia. But that's what's happened this afternoon. British Storm Shadow missiles, apparently 20 of them, have been fired into Russia. I haven't seen any reports on what damage was done, but I think this is an appalling development and one that I never hoped to see. It was bad enough seeing the Americans doing it, but the British following suit is just quite appalling and so dangerous. I mean, the Russians will almost certainly see this as an escalation. They've drawn a red line with it already, and it could lead to the ultimate escalation, nuclear war, which none of us want. And we were on the verge of peace. This is, Keir Starmer's acting as a poodle to please the lame duck, senile President Joe Biden, who just wants to leave a pile of turds for Donald Trump, the incoming president, to clear up. No doubt Trump is working in the background to try and calm everything down, and hopefully Putin won't be so pissed off that he actually decides to make an example of Britain, because you almost couldn't blame him. We're a little island who talks a big game, but is really of very little concern these days. And I don't think that anybody would really miss us. Do you? Putin and the Chinese would probably cheer it on if the British were taught a lesson. Those arrogant Brits, they've told the world how to live for hundreds of years, and now we've just wiped them out with a few missiles. I'm not even sure that anybody would retaliate. So I'm just appalled by our leadership. We are ruled by donkeys. We were on the verge of peace. This is the second time a peace deal has been scuppered. Boris scuppered the first one in Istanbul before the war even started, and that was the height of stupidity. And now Starmer and Biden have raised the stakes. You can't really believe that this is Starmer's idea. It's just him piggybacking on Joe Biden's stupidity and Biden's desire to leave Trump a mess to clean up. I think the whole thing's appalling. Let's just hope the Russians have cool heads, but we are closer to nuclear war than we've ever been. And I don't think the Russians will be asking too many questions. I think they shoot first and ask questions later. So let's just see what happens. But pray for peace, folks. This is getting out of hand and is frankly terrifying.
There is no peace coming. And there is no hope for Trump to get in office and save this place. This place is finished, man. It's on its last leg, and we just warning you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If you haven't repented, you better repent, man, because the destruction is coming. If you believe it or not. I want to hit a quick scripture before I go back to the videos. Get into King James. This is Revelations 11 and verse 14. Simple and plain. The second woe is past. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And that's what we're warning you about. That third woe, that third destruction, that third world's war is coming quickly. And he's going into the stock market crash. And I might have to hit that on another lesson. But these Edomites, man, they want this war, man. These elite, they want it. And they're going to get it.
We cannot be waiting for Trump to decide. Our support to Ukraine has to continue. We will see what's happening. We don't know what's going to happen. But by the time being, for today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, people are fighting and dying in the battlefield. They are not speculating. They are risking their life. So today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, what we have to do is to continue supporting them. President Biden authorized the use of a long-range weapon until 300 kilometers inside the Russian territory. That's a very good news for the Ukrainians. They have been asking for that. Now the US has granted this permission. In Europe, it is the national competence. Some member states are already doing that openly. Others they are doing without saying. And others, yesterday, they said nothing. But I'm sure that they will follow the example of the US.
So there you have it. These nations are not backing down. They want the war. And they're going to get it, man. The Lord said it was written. Now we're at the cusp of it happening, man. And when I first came into the truth, I was like, man, I wonder. And I heard about America being destroyed and Babylon the Great being destroyed and World War III was coming. And in the time when I came into the truth, nothing looked like it was going to ever happen that way. But man, the way prophecy works, it's beautiful. In other words, man, because if you just looking at the truth, you're like, man, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been in the truth going on 10 years now, and I would just always think like, how can it get to a point where they're going to shoot missiles over on another country? And now I see it for myself, man. And it's amazing how time changed that fast, man. Within a 10-year period, the nations are ready to fight and go to World War III, which is going to be a thermonuclear war, man. And one more thing before I play this video, man. I had a dream last night, and I've been having dreams. I had a dream a while back, a couple years ago. Apostle Gabar came to me, and he told me he come to prepare me for a war that was coming. And the war was I could see the war. I mean, I could see the storm way off, man. And he is what he said. I come to prepare you for the storm that's coming. And we was face to face, but the storm was at his back. And I was looking at the storm, and it was like, man, far away. It was real, real far away. And I kept having that dream. I had a dream again, but Apostle Gabar wasn't in the dream, but the storm was coming. I seen the storm coming from a long distance away. And I had this was like 4 or 5 dreams of the same storm coming. Well, I'm thinking to me it's the same storm. But then I recently had the storm and it was close, and they were so close that it made me run into my house because it was just like finna pour down rain, and thunder and lightning was pouring like it was finna pour down. And then last night I had a dream where the storm finally hit, and I remember me and some brothers was finna do a lesson, and we was talking about different things, and I remember all of a sudden we was doing a lesson, and it just the storm finally hit, and it rained just. It was the rain, the water was flooding, it was just rushing. Power. I told one of the arc, I said, man, I bet the power finna go out. And look, man, lo and behold, the power went out. And me and the brother, and we just separated, and we was like headed back to our houses. But we wasn't harmed or anything. But the point was, we seen a storm finally hit. And I just believe through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that was the storm from many years ago the Apostle Gabar came to tell me about. And after all these dreams, I had about 4 or 5 same dreams of the storm coming. And that storm finally hit, and I seen it last night, man. So that was just a spiritual thing the Lord showed me, that the storm is going to happen, man. It's coming very, very soon.
Putin says it's a declaration of war, this involvement. What does that mean for the UK and the United States? Will Russia now be at war with them?
If United States and Great Britain are now directly taking part in war against Russia, it means that all militaries of US and Great Britain are becoming legitimate goals for the Russian military. So as a first step, we can say that some of the probably intelligence aviation jet could be crashed by Russian army. And some of the satellite of United States, Great Britain also could be attacked and could be crushed. On the next stage,
are you saying that the United Kingdom is now a target for Russia?
United Kingdom now not target yet, because these attacks of the Storm Shadow didn't happen yet. If Storm Shadow will attack Russian territory, with participation of British officers and American officers, Great Britain will put all militaries as legitimate goals, targets for the Russian militaries automatically. If you decided to kill us, we have to protect ourselves.
So he's telling you that if they was attacked, they're going to have to protect themselves and make them attack Great Britain and the U.S., because these weapons that Biden authorized for them to use has to be used by the military of the United States and the Great Britain, because it has to be, I guess, connect. I'm not a military guy, but it has to be connected to their satellites for them to guide those missiles to direct them where they want them to hit. So now that has happened, they have become a target, man. And this is pretty much the same guy, the Russian guy, that was speaking about it. Now check this out.
I think it's very bad, because little friends, Britain and United States made very big step, even jump to the nuclear war and catastrophic destroying of the all human mind. All of yours will be killed probably end of this year, and your families will be killed and so on. And it's
hang on. So are you saying that the hang on. Sorry, I just want to be clear, Sergey, what you're saying there. The decision by Biden to authorize long-range weapons for Ukraine will lead to nuclear war.
Yes, exactly.
Putin's going to press the button.
You know, the button. Look at the history of the World War I. Nobody wanted the war, but war happened. It became the absolutely catastrophe.
So there you have it, man. World War III is going to happen, and nuclear war is going to happen as well, man. And that guy just said by the end of the year, man. So he don't really know. You know what I'm saying? He just speculating. He might be all die by the end of the year, man. So man, this thing is heavy, man. You Babylonians the only ones that don't understand this. And as Americans, it says Americans urge Putin to prevent World War III, criticize Biden's escalation with ATACMS support in Ukraine strikes. So on Twitter or X, they were pretty much sending a post to Putin not to start World War III, man. They was bagging him. Let me see. Let me read one or two of them. ATACMs. This guy right here, Charles Clark, he says, "Dear Russian people, very few Americans want war with you. Most of us are glad the Cold War has ended." See, this place is finished, man, and want a friendly relationship. The people obsessed with fighting you forever or a minority, and they are on the way out of power. We want peace. Ignore our current leaders, man. So this guy's been bagging. Check this out. This is Matt Couch. He says, "Dear Russian people and Putin and President Putin, you are not our enemy." He said, "Please reach out to President-elect Trump." See, the people are believing that Trump is going to save them, man. They really believe that Trump is going to save them, but there's no hope for Babylon the Great, man. If you ever repented to the Lord is going to destroy you here in Babylon the Great. These tyrants in power do not represent the will of the American people or our incoming leadership team through. We pray for peace of our two nations. And it's not going to matter, man. One more. I had four, but let me just read this last one. It says, "Dear Russian people, very few Americans want war with you. Most of us are glad the Cold War has ended." That's I think the same thing the other guy said. He says, "The people obsessed with," he said the same exactly. But Andrew, this is another guy. He says, "Pardon our current disabled leadership in the White House." He said, "We want peace." He says, "For serious inquiries, please reach out to Donald Trump. Sincerely, the American people." See, they write like letters to him. It's Andrew. And it says shipwreck. Last one, it says, I'm out reading, there's only four. It says, "Dear President Putin, we the American people do not agree to our taxes being used for Ukraine to send American missiles to Russia. We just want our roads fixed." This place is finished, man. The people are too, man. He says, "Please do not blow us up. But if you have to, please start with Gavin Newsom in his new house." So she said, so she knows it's coming, man. She just saying Gavin Newsom, I think it's the president, the governor of California, man. He says, "That way we can feel a little like justice was served before we melt in a nuclear puddle. Thank you." So this place is finished, man. And we bring these lessons out for our people to repent to the Lord, man, because these Russians are in prophecy for them to destroy Babylon the Great, man. So the men of the Lord and the women of the Lord, we see when this happened, this was our antennas going up is like knowing that the Lord is moving on our behalves, man. This is the Lord moving on our behalves. This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 2. It says, "Declare ye among the nations and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces," and these all the idols. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. "For out of the north there cometh up a nation." See that? Out of the north, which is the north was Russia and China. Out of the north cometh up a nation against her. See that? Those nations of the north, Russia and China, are going to come against Babylon the Great, man. "Which shall make her land desolate." See that? They're going to make the land of Babylon the Great desolate. "And none shall dwell therein." See that? If you haven't repented to the Lord, you're not going to be saved, man. You're going to be destroyed here in Babylon the Great. "They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast." See that? They're going to be destroyed here, man and beast. It don't matter if you got kids or newborn. It's not going to matter to the Lord, man. You need to repent to the Lord, man. Dropping down to verse 9, it says, "For lo, I will raise and cause up against Babylon an assembly of great nations," and they're being assembled now. Your North Koreas, your Irans, your Chinas, Russia. See that all these nations are being joined together. And this is what the Lord's will is for these nations to join together and come against her. It says, for lo, I will raise up and cause to come up against her, against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Her arrows shall be as a mighty expert, man. See that? Those missiles are going to be perfect, man. They're going to hit exactly where the Lord wants them to hit. None shall return in vain. See, once they're shot, they shoot their missiles off. None of them going to be shot down. None of them going to be taken out of the air. They're not going to return. They're not going to be duds. They're going to hit exactly where the Lord has them to hit, man. And the Chaldees shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. See, these nations are going to be satisfied for paying Babylon the Great back, man. They're going to be satisfied, man. They're not going to be sad at all, man. They want to destroy Babylon the Great, man. The Lord has already put it in their spirit. You see that Putin has already changed his nuclear doctrine, man. Let me drop down one more time. It says, verse 13, it says, because the wrath of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, it shall not be inhabited. See that? But it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished. See that? And hiss at all her plagues. See that? They're gonna be shocked that the Lord destroyed Babylon the Great the way he did it, man. Put yourselves in array against Babylon around about, all ye that bend the bow. See that? The Lord is getting these nations stirred up and put in place for them to shoot their missiles on Babylon the Great, man. As they shoot at her, spare no arrows. See, the Lord says, spare no arrows. Shoot every missile you have in your armory. I mean, in your storage, man, or wherever you got them at, man. Spare no arrows. It says, for she have sinned against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. See, all the wickedness that it was done here, and we prophesied against it, they thought we was crazy. They thought we was stupid, man. But you're going to see the Lord was always on our side, and we was speaking on his behalf for our people to repent because the destruction that was coming. It says, shout against her round about. She have given her hand, her foundations are falling, her walls are thrown down. See that? This place has no defense. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. You see the open borders, man. The Lord has set this place up perfectly, man. And like I was saying before, I was like, man, I was been in this truth, but I couldn't see it, man. I couldn't see this place going down. Through the spirit I could, but I just couldn't physically see it. Now we are physically seeing it, man. Through the spirit we knew it was going to happen because it was written. I knew. I was like, man, I always prophesied it, man. This place is going to be destroyed. I would tell people everything. And, you know what I'm saying, to them, they was like, I was crazy just saying this because they couldn't see it, man. And that goes to show you the Lord has to have a spirit on you to see what is spiritual. And these people couldn't see it, man. But we see it clearly, man. And I said to Wadi Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for waking me up to this truth. 15, it says, shout against her round about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Take vengeance upon her as she had done, do unto her. See that? So these people are making these but they was making these treaties and sending missiles to fire against these other nations. Now you're seeing that these nations are finna get spoiled. Babylon the Great is finna be spoiled for what they done to these other nations, man. See what she have done, do unto her. Now they sending these mines too. They said it was these banned mines that buy and approve for the Ukrainians as well, man. So World War III is going to happen in our lifetime, man. And it's already started. Thermonuclear destruction, I should say this. Thermonuclear destruction is going to happen in our lifetimes. It says, cut off the sword from Babylon and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest for fear of the oppressing sword. See that? For the fear of oppressing sword, they shall turn every one of his people, it's like everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. See that these heathen are going to get out of here now. You're going to see a big departure of these heathens that are here in Babylon the Great, man. You're going to see them get out of here, man. Drop it down again. It says, verse 22, a sound of battle was in the land and of great destruction. See that? The sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. See, the sound of battle is clearly known that we're finna go to World War III, man. People are finna be drafted. Your kids are going to be drafted and sent over to the Middle East, man. And like I said, I stayed in a military town. I had a military guy. He was like, man, we got two big deployments in November and December, man. And I do service work, so I go and speak to a lot of people, man. This guy told me that, man. And he was being deployed. But I think he was going somewhere for training, but he was speaking about the base here, two big deployments in November and in December, man. And he knew firsthand. And shit, don't forget about China going against Taiwan, man. The Lord is setting everything up to happen perfectly. Verse 23 says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become desolation among the nations? And that's what's going to happen to Babylon the Great, man. The hammer of the earth. They went and destroyed all these nations with their hammer of military. Now they're going to be cut off, man. Their power is going to be taken from them. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. See that? It's a snare the Lord has prepared for Babylon the Great. And I believe it's that this Ukrainian missiles that they authorized to them, man. That was a trap for them. Because you see, Russia didn't move right away. That was a trap, man. That was a snare the Lord had for him, man. He says, and thou was not aware. See that? They wasn't aware that this was going to happen, man. Thou art found and also caught because thou hast striven against Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. See, the Lord set them up perfectly, man, to fall because they striven against the Lord, man. And the Lord is not going to hold back the destruction that's coming to them. Drop down one more time, man. I'm going to get out of this chapter, man. But it's the whole thing is going into it. But I just want to hit a couple of points in Jeremiah 50 because you can read the whole thing. It leads you right into everything that's going to happen here in Babylon the Great, man. Dropping down to 41, it says, behold, a people shall come from the north. See that? It's talking about the Russians, man. The Chinese and all the nations that are aligned with them. And a great nation and many kings. See that? All the nations that are aligned with them. Your North Koreans, your Iranians, your Chinese. It says, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow and lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. See that? These other nations are going to shoot their missiles on Babylon the Great. And they don't care if you have kids or you just got out the hospital, you want to build a business. That's not going to be on their mind. Their mind is going to be to destroy Babylon the Great, man. And that's why we warn our people, man. This is not a game, man. We're just not prophesying. This is for the hell of it, man. These nations are roused up to come against Babylon the Great, man. And you're seeing your government sitting as a sitting duck, waiting on another person to come into office, which has no power to stop these nations from coming against it, man. It says, verse 42, let me read 42 again. It says, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses. Everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. See that? It's coming against the daughter of Babylon. Not the ancient Babylon, and it's in Iraq, but here in Babylon the Great, man. The daughter of Babylon. This is where we at. This is where the destruction is coming to. This is where the destruction is coming to. Babylon the Great, man. And that's America, a.k.a. America. This is Zephaniah 3 and verse 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination, let me slow down. For my determination is to gather the nations. And all the nations are gathered, man. They're ready to fight, man. That I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation. See, in the Middle East, Russia also sent more troops to the border of Israel, man. And this is happening under everybody's noses, man. And I'm speaking of those that ain't paying attention to what's going on. Because the elect, we're paying attention. We're watching everything, man. But yeah, Russia sent troops just yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day for this week? They sent more troops to the border of Israel, man. Because they are fighting in Israel keeps attacking Syria, and they almost hit one of their bases in Syria, man. So that's another escalation that is not even being talked about, because this right here is basically hit the airwaves and of Biden approving these missiles to be shot into Russia. So this is not even being talked about, man. Continuing on, it says, "For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my furious anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." See, all these nations are being gathered as well, man. We're speaking about we're just speaking about Russia right now because this was just the news headlines, but this is the turning point of all the nations being gathered in the Middle East, man. That you can actually see that this is going to happen. In other words, man, this is going to happen. So you tell somebody is in the World War III is about to happen, they can see it, but they don't know to the extent it's going to happen, man. They just think it, well, they're just going to, a couple missiles going to be shot over there. We might send troops over there. No, man. The Lord is gathering those nations in the Middle East. He's gathered them in the Middle East to be prepared to come against the small hatters as well, man. Because Trump is not going to say he wants to build their third temple, man. So that he's not going to go in office and it's going to be peace. It might be a couple weeks of peace and safety, but we know what happens after the peace and safety, man. But the point is, everything is being brought to the forefront. The prophecies are being brought to the forefront, so you can't deny them now. This is Jeremiah 51. In verse 10, it says, Yahweh Shem Yahushua have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua our power. And that's what we're doing, man. We're telling you this is it, man. Because we know in the midst of World War III, the Lord is coming back, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to appear. And Lord willing, we be beamed up and be a part of the hopeful elect. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahweh Shem Yahushua hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. And see, this is happening, man. And that's why we declaring this to our people, man. And you seeing the Russians being roused up. This is biblical prophecy happening before your eyes, man. It says, for his devices is against Babylon. See that? His devices are against Babylon. That's why he's stirring up the Medes. The Lord is tired of Babylon the Great. He's finna destroy it off the face of the earth. And that's what we keep warning you about. He says to destroy it. See that? To destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the vengeance of his temple. Set up a standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, prepare the ambush, for Yahweh Shem Yahushua hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. And we're telling you, man, constantly, man, wake up, because the Lord is going to bring destruction upon Babylon, man. We just read that's his determination. And he's rousing up the kings of the Medes, man, the Russians, man. Like I said, man, a while back, a couple years back, you couldn't see this happening. But now, it can't be denied, man. We at the door of a thermonuclear destruction. This is Isaiah 13 and 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes. See that? I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. See, you're not going to be able to persuade the Russians to not shoot their missiles, man. You're not going to be able to come against them and say, well, we got money, we got gold, we got silver we can give to you for not firing your missiles against us. It says, 18, it says, their delight, it's like if their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. See that? They're not going to have any pity on you just getting out with your newborn baby. You got a toddler. They're not going to care about that, man. Their eyes shall not, it's like if their eyes shall not spare children. They're not going to care, man. They're not going to care, man. It says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when power overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, man. See that? And what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? Rained fire down upon them. And the same thing is going to happen to this modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, man. The Lord is going to rain down fire upon it. And we're seeing this play out right before your eyes, man. No one can deny this is going to happen. And if they say it ain't going to happen, they're naive, man. And they're meant to be destroyed, man. The Lord had them personally set to be destroyed. They were just here just to be destroyed, man. That's a sickening feeling, I would think. The Lord set you up here just to be destroyed, man. You didn't even try to even seek the Lord while you could. Man, and there's a lot of cats I run across, man. They ain't even trying, man. This is Malachi 4 and verse 1. It says, and I know I'm not going to get to all these scriptures, man. Man. So many scriptures going into this, man, because we truly at the day of the Lord, man. This is Malachi 4 and 1. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. And that's what we want in our people, man. It's a day that's coming that's going to burn as an oven. And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushua of hosts. That shall leave them neither root nor branch. And that's no children, man. You're not gonna have your cousin down the line, your third, fourth cousin. It's gonna be a wrap, man. The day is coming that's gonna burn as an oven, man. This place is gonna be on fire, man, and it's not gonna be put out no time soon. The destruction is gonna be, man, very bad, man. And it's not gonna be no day where they're gonna put it away. The Lord gonna put it out. Man, no, man. This is His determination to destroy Babylon the Great, man. Because the Lord made this place beautiful for a reason, man. And He's gonna destroy it off the face of the earth, man. He's gonna destroy it off the face of the earth, man. Man, I got a lot of scriptures, man. I'm just gonna hit this last one, man. And Lord willing, go to part 2. Or do another lesson going into the same information for the most part. But it's so many scriptures, man, go into this topic. This is Matthew 6, and I'm just going to hit the point of verse 30. It says, wherefore, if power so clothe the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven. See that? So the Lord beautified Babylon the Great, man. But He's going to cast it into the oven, man. It's beautiful now, but tomorrow it'll be cast into the oven, man. Shall He not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? And we know that's going into, you having faith. So you should know the Lord is going to be with you, man. But I just had to hit that point, man, because today it's beautiful, but tomorrow it's going to be cast into the oven, man. It's going to be destroyed, man. Verse 30 again, it says, let me get this another translation, man. New Living. It says, and if power cares so carefully for the wild flowers that are here today and thrown into the fire tomorrow. See that? Thrown into the fire tomorrow. See, this place is beautiful today, but it's soon to be thrown into the oven, man. Thrown into the fire, man. He will certainly care for you. See that? If the Lord destroy this, He's going to save the elect. Why do you have so little faith? So we shouldn't be with little faith now, man. We shouldn't be with little. This right here should boost up our faith because we know that we are close, man. And we know the Lord has to have an elect that's saved. And Lord willing, we are the elect that's going to be saved, man. Good News Translation says, "It is power who clothes the wild grass, grass that is here today and gone tomorrow, burned up in the oven. Won't he be? It's like it. Won't he be all the more sure to clothe you? What little faith you have. See that? So you should have faith the Lord is going to save you, man, because you've done the will of the Lord. You continually seeking the Lord with all your heart and soul, man. So Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm going to end it there. Shalom. Shalom.